you want to know the secret to getting a 4x return on investment for only 25% of your hourly wage? Don't get me wrong, this is not about selling any wealth management products, but about a formula that can revolutionize the way you work and ultimately achieve the dual freedom of wealth and time. And that formula is hidden in this blockbuster work that has long dominated Amazon's business bestseller list, Buy Time Back. The author of this book, Dan Martell, is by no means a theorist on paper, but a true god of actual combat. In 10 years, he has successfully founded, expanded, and sold 3 technology companies. From a 1-hour-a-week business slave on the verge of collapse, the entire process of managing the time millionaire of his 8-figure multi-million empire in just 6 hours a week. The most powerful thing about this book is that it transforms illusory time into a personal asset that can be accurately calculated, scientifically managed, and repurchased at a high price. It provides a complete framework that has been validated by countless successful entrepreneurs. Teach you how to calculate your own unique repo rate and how to audit your time expenses like financial statements, and how to identify the time thieves who are stealing your valuable time. This video is a top investment guide on time assets. Let you learn to use the CEO's perspective to complete the most important mergers and acquisitions in your life to buy back the self with freedom and focus, and can create unlimited value with money. Have you ever felt this way? Promoted, title is more eye-catching, salary has gone up. But when I open my eyes every day, I don't think of a sense of accomplishment, but of overwhelming work and endless meetings. You become the most indispensable core of the team, but at the cost of being the first to arrive at the company and the last to leave. You have more and more, but less and less time for yourself. This state of the harder you work, the more anxious you get is the first and most poignant concept in the book by the author Dan Martell, the pain line. For the average person, this line of pain is a workplace ceiling. Under this line, your efforts are directly proportional to the rewards. More overtime and more skills can be exchanged for promotions and salary increases. You will feel motivated. But once he touched this line, the situation changed completely. Each improvement, like taking on a bigger project or leading a bigger team, no longer brings joy. It's more pain, more responsibility, more complex relationships, and less personal life. At this point, your body and brain will activate a powerful self-protection mechanism, which will tell you in various ways, stop, you can't go any further, and you will collapse. Therefore, the most bizarre thing happens. Many people will start to set self-limits subconsciously at this point. To use the theory in the book, it is to quietly sabotage one's career in 3 ways. The first, and most decisive, is called escape. You may quit suddenly or change jobs frequently. You tell yourself you're looking for better opportunities, but the real voice deep inside is, I can't take it anymore, I just want to get out of this life. You gave up the platform and resources you had worked so hard to accumulate in exchange for a moment of respite. The second, more subtle, is called slacking off. You say you want to work hard, but you start to procrastinate and perfunctory inaction. For example, in the face of a challenging project that can make you grow rapidly, you find various reasons to reject it. Or be satisfied with only doing the safest and most familiar jobs, and stop actively learning new things. Or indulge in some entertainment and numb your dissatisfaction with the status quo with short-term pleasures. This is actually your subconscious telling you, don't fight so hard, it will only be more painful. The third and most common is called stagnation. You tell yourself, I'm fine now, stability is the most important thing. You begin to consciously reject opportunities that would further your progress, and you become uninterested in promotion. You comfort yourself that this is Buddhism and contentment is always happy. But the author pointedly points out that in a highly competitive environment, failure to make progress means being gradually eliminated. When you choose to stagnate, those younger, more energetic backwaves are quietly preparing to overtake you. So you see, this pain line is like a vicious circle, trapping us in a cycle of effort, pain, escape, stagnation. So, is there any way for us ordinary people to break it? Of course there is. And this breakthrough is the core of this book and the most subversive way of thinking. I hope you remember this quote as a life-changing mantra. It's the repurchase principle. Every penny you spend should not be just for consumption, but also to buy back your time and energy strategically. What was our thinking in the past? Money is used to buy things, services, happiness. This is consumption thinking. And the buyback principle tells us to establish an investment mindset. It believes that as the CEO of its life limited company, your most valuable asset is not your savings, but your limited time and energy every day. So every time you spend money, you should ask yourself a question. Will this money help me unload those things I don't like, don't do well, and have low value? You spend money to reinvest the time and energy you have freed up in things that will truly grow you, make you happy, and make you realize the value of your life. This creates a wonderful virtuous circle. You pay to buy back time and use that high-quality time to study, exercise, and engage in side jobs, which in turn improves your earning ability and quality of life. After that, you can buy more time with more money. Your life continues to increase in value while you yourself become more and more relaxed and free. Sure, that principle sounds tempting, but then comes the problem. The practical question is, how do I know when time is worth buying back? Can I afford to earn so much money a month? Don't worry. Here the author gives us the book's first and most practical tool, precisely calculated number called the personal repurchase rate. This number will be the gold standard for all your future life decisions. The calculation method is extremely simple. It only takes 2 steps. Now you can take out your mobile phone calculator and do the math. The first step is to calculate your real after-tax hourly wage. First, calculate the total after-tax income of all your jobs for the entire year last year. Remember, it must be after tax, which is more realistic. Then divide that total by 2,000. Why 2,000? Because that's about the average person's working hours in a year. Okay, now you've got this number, which is the true value of your current hour. For example, if your total after-tax income last year was $200,000 divided by 2,000, then your real hourly wage would be $100. The second step is to calculate the personal repo rate. Divide the hourly wage just calculated by 4. Yes, it's that simple, just divide by 4. Therefore, the friend who $200,000 after tax and earns 100 yuans per hour, his personal repurchase rate is 25 yuans. What does this 25 yuans mean? This is your time decision red line. The author believes that as long as you can find a service that can help you replace those chores and trifles you don't like, and the cost per hour is less than 25 yuans, you should not hesitate to spend money to buy this time back. Because the hours you save can be used to learn new skills that can earn you more than 100 yuans in the future. You can run a side hustle that brings an extra income, you can go to the gym to get healthier, or simply spending quality time with your children and parents. These things have a long-term return that is far greater than the $25 you spend. I know you might say, I'm usually very frugal, isn't it too extravagant to pay someone to do something? But this is actually a shift in mindset. The money is not for consumption, but for investment. You invest 25 yuans in exchange for 1 hour of high-value time and a more relaxed and focused version of yourself. The return on this investment may exceed your expectations.